There we go. Okay. All right. Oh, I'm waiting for you guys. Okay. So, your page is titled Probability, and we're ready to go. So probability. What is the probability, and we're not blurting out right now, we're raising our hands. What is the probability that you will have homework tonight? What would you say, Justin?
Very unlikely.
Very unlikely? Okay. Dallin?
Very
likely. Likely? Jasmine?
100%.
Certain?
No, yeah.
Okay. We said we're not blurting out. All right, hands down. What is the probability that we will have a snow day tomorrow? Ethan?
100%.
He's very optimistic. But if you were thinking realistically, really what would it be?
About 47%.
Maybe 47%? Okay.
0%.
Okay, 0, so would you say impossible?
Yes.
Okay. Sydney?
Kind of a 50-50 because it could happen, but it also couldn't happen.
Okay. Okay, hands down. Here's another question. What is the probability that you are going to do math today? Parker?
Impossible.
Okay, in all seriousness, come on.
Certain.
Certain, okay. All right. So, as you guys were talking, I heard some key words. I heard the word certain. I heard impossible. I heard a chance, 50-50. And I heard percent. I heard a lot of, well, maybe 47%, maybe 0. Okay. All right. So, probability is something that we do in math, but it's also a part of our day-to-day conversation. Why is it important for you to understand probability? Do we need to move magnets? Okay. Why is it important to understand that, Keegan?
So that you can plan.
So you can plan. You know from past experiences, if you show up to school and you don't bring your coat and it snows, recess is quite cold, right?
Oh, yeah.
So you've probably learned not to take that chance, or you've probably learned to pay attention to the weather, okay? So those are things that you have to understand. Also, when you grow up and you do things like, I don't know, some of you might, I'm sure you've heard of fantasy football, that you have to think about probability. If you're going to pick Brady Quinn as your starting quarterback, you need to think about the probability of him getting playing time, right? I know my Chiefs fan over here. Did you hear they're getting rid of Matt Castle? Are you happy or sad about that? Right, but who are they going to replace him with? Okay. Okay, but this is something you need to understand and you need to know. So the first thing we're going to do in our notes is we're going to write the mathematical definition. So probability is the ratio of the number of ways an event can occur to the total possible number of possible outcomes. You can just get one on the right. Copy it down and then I'll explain it. I know, but oh, will we still be able to see it?
Yeah.
Okay. I think Miss Bender might have a heart attack if I go ask her for another thing. Oh, that does work. Okay. We could also have somebody stand with a flashlight. Kidding. Don't worry about your label because you don't want to get rid of that notebook, do we? You want to keep them both, okay? So maybe your first page is your new table of contents. It'll just start with number, what are we on?
24.
Yep. So. At the end of class, we'll come back to this definition and see if we've really figured it out, okay? Because it's got a lot of big words in it. Jasmine?
I kind of made up a probability, ratio of next month. It's probably going to snow because March is our snowiest month.
Right. Right, and you've probably heard about that probability from your mom or the weather forecasters, right? March is weird. 'Cause it's like a blizzard, and then it's like, oh, 70 degrees, and then it's like, it's all over. But you got to know that probability so you can dress appropriately. All right, so next part. At each table group is a pile of spinners. Here's what you're going to do. Eyes up here. Glue it in. Whoa. Color the left hand side green. What? No, it's okay. It has to be green because of our worksheet today. So, I know I wanted to color mine pink. And you only have about 1 minute. Yes, guys, voice is off. Voice is off. Listen. Listen. It has to be the left hand side. Okay, the left hand side is green. Don't tell anybody. Okay, as you're coloring, make sure you stay in the lines because that will be important later. Glue it down.
Very hard too.
Okay, let's go, guys, quick. Trash in the big can, not the little, Josh. Hey, come on.
Come on, everybody.
Okay, about 1 minute. Finish gluing it in.
Hey, Josh, you're right. Shayla was back on her word. She loves you. Yes, Josh, you're very awkward. Now run to your room. I'm a hobo.
Oh, that's not even, don't even joke about that, okay? Okay, you need to be done in 10, 9, 8, 7, voices are off, 6, 5, 4, 3, we're going to be using over the next couple of days. So we glued it into our notebook so that we can not lose it. That's mostly why. But it's also going to be a part of a lot of discussions. So the next thing I want you to write, what is the probability of landing on green? You can write that right under your spinner. Don't answer it yet because there's more to this question. Dallin, did you write this down?
Mhm.
Yeah? Do you want to come sit up front here? Okay, good thing. Where's your book? Your math notebook? Well, why don't you get a new one out of the closet? Alright, so the next thing you're going to copy down is this chart. So there's 3 spinners. That's what they're going to be. One has nothing colored in, one has half, and one has whole. And then I wrote fraction, decimal, percent, words. So you're going to copy that chart down. And I put it on the right on purpose. I know. I had to check the book because I was like, why is it on the right? But it's supposed to be. It really actually I don't think matters for this activity. Did you copy these down?
Yep.
And shaded? And wrote this? Okay. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to look at each one and we're going to see how would you write it as the probability as a fraction, how would you write it as a decimal, and how would you write it as percent and in words. So let's start with the first one. There's nothing, there's no green. So what's the probability of landing on green? What do you think, Caleb? None. So if we're talking about words, we wouldn't say none. We would use a different word. Parker.
Impossible.
Yes. So underneath words, you're going to write impossible. There is no chance of landing on green for the empty circle. But how would you do that impossible using a fraction, a decimal, or a percent? Do you have any idea, Tucker?
For the fraction, 0. Actually, for the percent, 0%.
So for percent, we would say 0%, and then we'd say chance after it. We'd say there's a 0% chance. Okay. Owen?
For decimal, we would just write 0.
Yeah. For decimal, you would just say 0. There's really none. Josh?
For the fraction, you'd write 0 out of 100. 0 out of a whole.
Caleb?
0 out of 0.
So for the fraction, we would say probability of 0. So if you can fit that in there. It's kind of combining them. Okay, then we go on to this next one. Fraction, decimal, percent, or words. How would you describe the probability of landing on green? Jasmine.
For a percent, a 50-50 chance.
Okay, so for percent, we would just say 50% chance. Brayden?
For decimal, I'd do 5/10 or 0.5.
Mhm. He's correct.
Oh.
Okay. Justin. Okay. Ivan, what would you say for the fraction? Usually we'd say a half. But you're right, 50 out of 100 is equivalent, isn't it? So probability of 1/2. Now in words, what do you think? I have to tell you what the girls said as soon as he left.
I bet you it's
I bet you
similar
can
to
guess.
what several of my girls said.
It was hilarious.
Yeah, they're not good.
Jada, what do you think?
Possible?
Possible. Ooh, I like that. Yep. Possible. You might say possible. I wouldn't say likely because it's just 50-50. I would say likely if it was a little more than 50. But I like that you're thinking of that word. Okay, what about the one where it's completely filled? Just don't even touch Dewey, okay? Move away. Thank you. What about this one? Jackson.
3%, I would say 100% chance.
Yep, we say 100% chance. Come on, Mitchell. Kendall?
For fraction, would you do probability of 100?
Well, no, I don't have 100 holes here. How many do I have? One. So we say probability of 1. Okay. Owen?
For words, it would be certain.
Certain. Good. Jasmine?
For fraction, it would, decimal. 1 whole.
Okay, decimals are a part of a whole. So, no. So you could write none or leave it blank. Okay. Alright. Ivan.
For words, can you do guarantee?
Yes, that would be another word that would mean certain. Okay, so the way the spinner works, what you're going to do is you'll have your pencil. I'm going to use a colored pencil. But you're going to put you'll get a paper clip in a minute. And do you guys see what I'm doing?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, you're going to flick it to spin it. However you decide to flick it. To keep this fair and to keep it scientific, you have to do it as similar as you can every time. Jasmine, move your magnet. While I'm talking, your hand is not up. Okay? This is like the 10th time today. Okay, so I'm just going to flick it. It landed on, green. Okay? So that's how this works. Oops. Okay, that time it's on white. Yeah, there's still a delay even with this one today. Now it's on green. Okay, that's true. Now, what happens if it's right on the line, kind of like that? What do we think, Jada?
Half and half.
Well, I have to record it as landing on green or white. What would you guys think we should do? Sydney?
Flick it again.
Yeah, it's a reflick. Is that a word? It's a redo. Okay? Alright, that's how it works. Now, tear out Unit 939. Unit 939. Okay, we know you're on yellow. I need to glue it. missing a whole chunk? Okay, you'll get my page, and yeah, so just every day make sure you get it from me. I don't know what else to do, Owen. Alright, first and last name at the top of your page. I'm making it nice and pretty for you. Oh. Alright, so here's what you're going to do. Today you are at your seat doing this first part on your own. You're going to, before you even start, you're going to ask yourself how much of your spinner is colored green. What is the probability of landing on green? Then you're going to make a prediction. How many times will you land on green out of 50 spins? You're going to flick it 50 times, okay? Then, look at number 4. Put a star by number 4. And actually set it up right now. So, you're going to sit at your seat and flick your paper clip 50 times. And you're going to tally your results. So, go ahead, set up a table. On one side is green. On the other side is white. Okay, do you guys know what tally marks are? The lines. You could do that. Okay, whoa. Guys, you're wasting our time. Okay. So as you're flicking, if it lands on green, put a mark on green. If it's on white, put a mark on white. How many times are you doing it? 50. Then when you're done, you're going to record your results on number 5. Sydney. I'm not going to tell you how to write that because it doesn't say how. You've got 4 possibilities that we wrote down in our notes, so I think. Josh.
How many times could you do half?
No, it has to be a number out of 50.
Yeah, like half of 50.
So 25, then you would write 25. That's going to be important when we make our line plot.
So when you flick it, I think it shouldn't be on the white side, because then it would land differently. I think it should be like halfway in between.
What are you talking about?
So like,
Sorry.
if you flick it on the white.
Okay, it lands on white like that.
Yeah, so if you do it from halfway, it'll like, it'll be better.
Are you talking about where you're going to put your paper clip before you flick it? Okay, try that out. See what you think. Okay, that's what you're doing silently at your seat. I will be calling groups back to the table again. Remember, it's the same rules as literacy. You don't interrupt group unless it's an emergency. And if I can pick out your voice, move your magnet. So don't even look like you're talking to somebody next to you. If you're sitting somewhere and you know it's going to get you in trouble, please get up and move and find a spot. Last question, Sarah.
So like, when it says, when it, like, like, when it, like, when it says record, like, if it's like, if it lands in the center of green and white at the same both, does that count as green?
If it lands in the middle, you're just recording green or white. So this is a redo. You don't count it. Okay. If you are sitting at Jessica's table, Go get one paper clip out of the purple cup. And one of you turn on the lights, please. If you are sitting at Owen's table, you may go get a paper clip.